Alright, welcome to the 8th episode of this Minecraft Hardcore solo playthrough. Last episode we tried to do some mining to look for iron. We also built some structural supports for our house. Whew, I hear eerie noises apparently, that makes me nervous. In between episodes, as you can tell from the overlay, I dug down to what the internet says is the best level to find iron, which is around level 14. I've already found some gold, but I don't have an iron pick to be able to mine it yet. There will be lots of mob noises because I'm currently very closely beneath a cave. So, hopefully I don't end up breaking into that cave. I did have to go through it a little bit to continue the staircase, but hopefully I won't end up breaking into it too much, because that makes me nervous. I really want to be able to have iron armor, that is, very soon, hopefully in this episode, so that we can stop feeling so nervous. I could have tried to get a bunch of leather from some cows, but that would have taken probably longer than it would take to just find a bunch of iron. And plus, iron is useful for many things, and we will need a bunch at some point. So I may as well start looking now. So, I'm gonna be doing a lot of mining, a lot of hunting around. We already have 6 raw iron. I should have brought a crafting table, but I didn't. So I'm gonna go back up and drop off some of the stuff that I've mined and get some more supplies and some more pickaxes, and then we will continue. Also, between episodes, I realized that I never actually talked about my vacation. So I don't know if I let it slip at any point, but I went to Disney and Universal for my vacation. It wasn't my idea, it was my parents' idea. But we've been there a few times. That's kind of just where we've always gone for vacations. And I did have a lot of fun. Also, I mentioned this, I think, in the last video, but if there are any jump cuts or anything, it's probably because I'm cutting out the audio from people mowing outside my window. Hopefully that ends soon, but in the meantime, I will probably just be cutting it out. Anyway, so yes, I forgot to talk about my vacation. So, we went to Disney, as I said. I had a lot of fun. I spent most of the time trying to find gifts for my friends, like little souvenirs and things. It was pretty tricky because I didn't want to spend too much, but I did find some things that I thought they would really like. I have yet to give them all their stuff, but I'm hoping to soon. It was a lot of walking. We went in the middle of July, which was a great idea if you want to suffer in the heat. But I got a lot of walking in, which was probably good for me. We also went to Universal Studios, which was the thing that I was the most excited about. Because I love comics, I love a lot of superhero movies, I'm a huge fan. I, I've always been a huge Nintendo fan. I was raised on Nintendo consoles by my mom. So I was really excited to go to Universal, especially to see their new park, which had just opened a couple weeks before we scheduled our trip. So I was super excited. The rest of Universal is a really cool place. They have a lot of stuff there for people with all sorts of interests. There's also just a lot of like downtowny feeling areas where you can shop and eat at cool restaurants. That besides getting stuff for my friends, my other biggest goal was to try a lot of interesting food. I was having a lot of jaw soreness at the time from my wisdom teeth removal, so it was a little bit difficult to do that. But in the end, I did get to try a lot of cool stuff. The place with the most interesting food, in my opinion, is in the Disney Animal Kingdom Park. They have the Avatar section of the park, based on the Avatar movies. And they have a lot of fun food there. It's mostly just stuff that looks bright and colorful and bizarrely shaped to make it feel like alien food, but it's, it's proper human food. But they also just have some really interesting things that I haven't really had before. So I highly recommend that if you're going there and you just want to try some cool food. Also, at Universal, by the entrance of the main two parks, there's the little shopping area. They also have, I don't remember what it's called, but it's like a chocolate emporium type place. It's really interesting. We didn't get a reservation and they don't do walk-ins, but they do have a little section at the front where you can just buy desserts at the counter, no reservation needed. So we got some really fun stuff. I accidentally got a plate of ice cream that was apparently made for 4 people and they didn't tell me. And my parents both got milkshakes and I had this giant platter full of ice cream and 2 layers of brownies and all these different things. And it was the end of the day after walking around a whole bunch, so I was not, I wasn't super well equipped to eat all of that without warning, but I did my best. It was insanely good, so I highly recommend that place if you want to try some just really good ice cream and milkshakes and stuff. I see lava drops above me, so that makes me really nervous to keep mining, but I'm going to anyway. I'm just gonna try to not mine upwards if possible, and hopefully the lava pool doesn't go down anywhere. And I found some iron, so it was probably worth it to keep mining, though I do have to mine upwards to get this stuff. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. Sadly, the new park at Universal, they had the issue that every new big theme park like that has, where they're so new that they're not yet equipped to handle tons of people all going on the rides all at once. So sadly, we only ended up being able to go on one ride in the new Universal Park, despite standing in line for multiple for a few hours. um, one of the ones that I was the most excited for was, I think, called Bowser's Fury. I'm not sure. It was some sort of like Mario Kart ride that we were in line for 2 hours. We were almost at the very front, and then they had to delay it for about all day. So sadly, we weren't able to go on that. I got some cool pictures of the actual Nintendo area of the park from the outside and the area on the inside of the line. Maybe someday, if I ever go again and it's still open, I can try again. But for now, I couldn't really do it. But it was really cool to walk around the new Nintendo Land. I think it's their best crafted park out of all of them. Some of the older parks are, you know, nicely made, nicely structured, but the new Nintendo one is just like, it's definitely their most immersive. Everywhere you look, it feels like you're in a Mario theme park. It was really cool to see. I think my favorite part, though unintended, was at the very start of the Mario Kart line for the ride. There's a giant statue of Bowser, and I don't know if it's meant to be life-sized, as if you're the size of Mario, but if it is, it was so cool to see. I thought it was... I don't think it was like hand sculpted or anything, but it's so cool to see things like that in video games that I've been playing my whole life, just life-size in front of me, you know, being immersed by it. It was really cool, and I really do hope that I can go again someday, and that maybe things are a little bit more put together. I feel bad because the workers were probably under a lot of stress, trying to fix things as best as they could, and they just couldn't get a handle on it, so no shame on them. Every time a new theme park opens, you know, there's gonna be delays like that, because they're, no matter how hard they try, they're just not, the rides just aren't quite ready yet. And that's okay. That just means that next time I go, if it's still open, everything will hopefully be working smoothly, and the lines will probably be not quite as long. Yeah, we were gone for about a week and a half. We stayed in 2 different hotels. Even with all the standing in line and walking around in the heat and everything, the most stressful part was definitely dealing with our truck that we drove. Because we drove from where we live now to Orlando, Florida, and from where we live, it was about... Oh, goodness. Oh, okay, just a nice little open cube. I thought it was gonna be a cave, and I was so stressed. It was... I can't remember exactly how long, but it was about like 13 to 16 hours, somewhere in that range, of driving pretty much constantly. We took it in turns. My mom struggled a lot, but, you know, she survived just fine. And 'cause both my parents are having eye issues. My dad needs glasses and my mom, I don't know. But, we made it eventually. Even though the, like, AC went out in the truck at some point and it started weirdly and oh my gosh, there were a lot of issues, but we survived the way there and back. Ooh, lapis. This spider is so loud. Let's see. We should have enough iron now, so I'm just gonna get this lapis and then make my way back up to the surface. Yeah, we should have enough iron to make a full set of iron armor. And maybe some iron tools too, like a new iron pickaxe so that we can mine that gold that's down there. I'm not sure if you can mine it with the cobblestone one, but I don't want to break it and, you know, end up losing it. See, also between recordings, I realized what I can do with all this copper. One of my long-term goals for this series is to build a large sculpture dedicated to Sun, my streaming partner, if you haven't watched our streams. Because she won't be joining us for this playthrough, but she's here in spirit, so I definitely want to, you know, have some sort of homage to her. So let's put all the cobblestone upstairs. If we get a lot of cobblestone, we can smelt it and turn it into stone bricks, which is a very nice building material. Looks like we'll have to reorganize some stuff because we have a lot of cobblestone already, which is nice because I always need it. Lots of just little things. Yeah, so we have 30 raw iron. That should be plenty, if I remember correctly. So we will smelt all of this, and if we have any extra... I don't think we have anything else to cook. But we can just cook up some cobblestone as well while we're at it. Do you have any logs? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's build a couple more furnaces while we're down here. And we can have them all running at once. So these can be making more charcoal. These can be smelting the iron. And these can be smelting cobblestone. Alright. So very soon we will have a full brand new set of iron armor. We just have to wait for all of these things to smelt. In the meantime, I'm going to quickly check on our animals down here. Looks like they're doing well. We've got lots of eggs. I am hoping to get some more animals to put down here, like cows, so that we can get milk. And, maybe at some point some horses. I don't know if they'll go under here, but we could definitely grab some. Also, if we make some shears with the extra iron, we can get the sheep's wool and use that for building, for making extra beds, and I don't know if we'll need it for anything else. I don't think you can turn wool into string. I think you can turn string into wool. It would be great if you could turn wool into string, because then that would be like an endless supply of string for arrows. Need another there. Two more in here. Yeah, let's just cook all that. So, let's see. What have we gotten done today? We have mined a bunch of iron. We've checked on our animals. What else are our goals? Our other long-term goals are to build a sustainable base, which I think we've done because we have a wheat farm, we have some chickens downstairs, we have a sugarcane farm, we have a mine, we have a forest that I've been replanting slowly, and we're on a river so that I can fish soon if I get some string and some sticks and I think another iron. And that can be another food source. So yeah, I think we have built a sustainable base. I can cross that off the list. Make a sculpture of sun. And our other goals are to explore the new updates. This includes the Ghast update that came out somewhat recently, and the update from a little while ago now of the tree mobs. From what I've heard, there's a specific type of growth that can appear in dark oak forests. I don't remember what it's called, but I know that it makes the trees like white, which looks incredible, and I really want a bunch of it so I can build with it. I've always liked the dark oak logs just because of how like dark they are and nice looking. And I think the contrast with that and like a white wood would look so cool for building. So I'm excited. Very looking forward to that. The ghasts, I've heard a little bit about the lore and just how all of that works. That one is the one that I am the most nervous about because that heavily involves the nether and ghasts, which are one of the hardest mobs for me to fight. They're terrifying. I don't know if they're worse to me than the Ender Dragon, probably not, because they're not quite as difficult to kill. But they've always been terrifying to me, especially with the explosive damage that they do. Which, as you know, with those creepers, I haven't handled well so far. So we'll see how that goes when the time comes. Hopefully not poorly. So yeah, those are some of our other long-term goals. What else have I been doing? Well, like I said in a previous episode, I am attending college classes very soon. I don't know how that's going to affect the schedule. This is my third recording of the day. So this will be put out about 3 weeks from now, which is about when I'm moving into my dorm. So by then I'll know a little bit more about how things will work with streaming and recording while being in a dorm. I know for sure that at the very least streams will be a bit calmer. They'll be less loud because I will be around other people more, and I'll have their, I'll have to not bother them. But these recordings should be okay. They're nice and quiet. They don't take quite as long. But we'll just see how things go. Also, I have built a full set of iron armor. Look at that. It looks pretty nice with our little bunny mask. I'm gonna take it off just so I don't wear it out in the meantime. And how do I make... I don't really know how to make an armor stand. Is that something that I can make, or do I have to find one? A stone cutter would be good. But I don't want to use up that iron just yet. Lodestone, I don't remember what that does. Shield would be good. We just need some planks. It did cost an iron, but that's okay. Shears are also good, we'll need those. Let's see, what does an arrow take? Feather, stick, and flint. Alright. Should be able to make some of those. Crossbow takes a tripwire hook, which I don't have. Yeah, I don't know if I can make an armor stand. Maybe I'm missing materials. TNT. Probably don't want to make that. Oh wait, is there a recipe for cookies in here? Not that I can see. But this is the recipe for cake. That might be a good one, but we need 2 more buckets. Yeah, I don't know. But these are done, so we have a bunch of stone that we can turn into stone bricks. These will be really nice to build with at some point. So yeah, let's put everything back upstairs. The crafting materials, we got more coal, got iron, functional blocks, put the shears and our spare pickaxes in there, as well as, actually, our armor and shield. Put the cobblestone back in here, along with the stone bricks and the stone, oak logs, oak planks, and we'll head to bed. I think this episode was a bit of a shorter one, but we did make some progress in the past few. Looks like it's raining out. Or not. Yeah, we've made lots of progress over these past few episodes. I'm pretty proud of what we've accomplished. Let's see. We avoided a conflict with pillagers, which I'm very relieved by, and I'm hoping that they don't come back anytime soon, because I don't know when I'll be able to confidently handle those in survival. I do like killing them on worlds that aren't hardcore, but they can very easily kill me. We have built this animal pen down here with lots of chickens, some sheep. Hopefully we can add more animals to that. We have our sugarcane farm and our wheat farm behind it. We moved our forest that way a bit more. And we finished building our house. I may end up making it look a little bit nicer once we have some better materials, like I was talking about the dark oak wood and the pale wood. I'm not sure what it's called. I haven't seen it in game yet. I'm very excited to find it at some point. Also, at some point, I will be adding mods. I will be adding Optifine, and soon I will probably be adding the map and waypoint mod that I normally use, so that we can teleport back here if we need to. I know it's not quite hardcore, but I would at least like to be able to explore in this playthrough without losing our home. And rerouting every now and then. So this will probably be it for this episode and for this recording session, so it'll be a bit before I play next. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching. We stream almost every Saturday from 7 to 9 p.m. Central on my Twitch. You can find that in my bio. I stream with my friend Sun. We play a lot of chill games, relaxing games, funny games, occasionally horror games. I'm not sure what we're doing for this spooky season coming up, but I'm very excited. The VODs are posted here on my YouTube channel the following Monday at 4 p.m. Central, and these solo recordings are also posted here on Thursdays at 4 p.m. Central. So if you missed a video or a VOD, or you want to see the previous ones, you can check them out here on my YouTube channel. So yeah, once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.